So let's land on our cushions here. We'll start with some short stretches and open up the body, open up the channels in the body, and then we'll get into the practice. So as always, we'll start with the left arm, go straight up, just bend over to the right, breathing into the left side body, left side channel. So we kind of follow the Chinese and Tibetan medicine, understanding of the body. There's 3 channels, 2 on the side and 1 in the middle. So we're just opening up, breathing into the lungs, opening up the rib cage, the heart, and the left side channel. With your right hand, you can gently extend your left arm a little further if you'd like. And release. Do the same on the other side. Right arm goes straight up. Lean over to the left, opening up the right side channel, right side body. With your left hand, you can gently extend the right arm. And release. In the left arm, you can take the inner part of the left arm facing up and just gently pat the inner part of the left arm. That opens up some meridians in the chest and the lungs and the upper part of the body. Do the same on the other side. We'll move into the 9-round breathing exercise. So with our left index finger, we close the right nostril. Breathing white light through the left nostril, down through the left side channel. Under the belly button, finger moves to the other side, and through the right side channel, we exhale any anger, any hatred, any aversion. We do desire first. So exhale any desire, any attachments, any clingings through the right channel. Black smoke rises up into the air, turns to clouds of silver and gold, and those clouds of silver and gold flow out into the world, bringing blessings to each other and all sentient beings, and releasing a gentle rain of golden and silver nectar from the heavens above. So we'll do that together 3 times. So do the other side. So with the right index finger, we close the left nostril. We breathe in white light through the right nostril, down through the right side channel. Under the belly button, finger moves to the other side. And to the left side channel, we exhale any anger, any hatred, any aversion, any mental lawsuits, any resentment in the form of black smoke. Black smoke rises up into the air, turns to clouds of silver and gold. Those clouds of silver and gold flow out into the world, bringing blessings to each other and all sentient beings, and releasing a gentle rain of golden and silver nectar from the heavens above. So again, we do this together 3 times. Last round, we breathe in white light through both nostrils, down through both side channels. Then meet at the central channel. The central channel, we exhale any ignorance, any obstacles to practicing the path, any obscurations, any misunderstandings, and how to put the teachings into practice. So all of that we exhale in the form of black smoke. Black smoke leads through both nostrils, rises up into the air, turns to clouds of silver and gold, and those clouds of silver and gold flow out into the world, bringing blessings to each other and all sentient beings, and releasing a gentle rain of golden and silver nectar from the heavens above. So as always, you may find that you breathe in more through one nostril than the other. And so for this morning, to the best of your abilities, try and inhale as evenly as possible and exhale as evenly as possible. And again, we do this together 3 times. So imagine that we're at the center of a circle, and around us are infinite circles expanding out as far as your minds can imagine. Each circle filled with sentient beings from all 6 realms, from the hungry ghost realm, from the God realm, from the hell realm, from the demon realm, from the human realm, from the animal realm. Circles and circles of sentient beings, each of whom we've had a connection with since beginningless time, each of whom has been our parent, our child, our classmate, our fellow citizen, our coworker, our Dharma friend, and so on and so forth. So we've had a deep connection with all these sentient beings since beginningless time. They've been the source of so much kindness and generosity to us. And even though they may appear as a hungry ghost or a demon in this lifetime, just 1 lifetime ago, they were our best friends. Just 2 lifetimes ago, they were our dearest uncle, and so on and so forth. So as we engage in this practice this morning, we do so with 3 motivations. On one level, we do so to purify all the negative karma we've accumulated since beginningless time. On a second level, we do so to purify all negative karma we've accumulated so that we may have the best possible rebirth. So we may have a smooth transition through the bardo when we leave our bodies, when we leave this planet, when we leave our physical vessel. So we may land in a perfect family with perfect access to the Dharma and perfect material resources to continue to study the Dharma and to continue our journey of realizing enlightenment. And then on the third level, ultimately, we engage in this practice with an altruistic motivation, bodhicitta motivation, to purify our negative karma so we may realize enlightenment and be of service to all sentient beings, so that we may return the kindness to all sentient beings around us in whatever way is most appropriate to their minds. And it could be something as simple as a smile. It could even something as being as simple as doing nothing, just holding one's ground and just keeping our mouths shut and not engaging in action or thought or speech. Or it could be as generous as building a library or a hospital or a school. So whatever is appropriate to every moment. So to the best of our abilities this morning, we want to retain this bodhicitta, this altruistic motivation throughout the practice, cutting through any surface appearances, not getting disturbed by the fact there maybe is a hungry ghost to our right and a demon to our left and a human in front and an animal behind us. With all these sentient beings, we practice equanimity. With all these sentient beings, we practice unconditional love. And with all these sentient beings, we strive to engage in this bodhicitta motivation to realize enlightenment so we can be of service to each and every one of them. So So now Vajrasattva appears in the center of our rooms, our homes, our apartments, our bathrooms, wherever we're practicing this morning. There's an image of Vajrasattva on the cover of the booklet, and there's also an image that you could download from the website. So Vajrasattva will be with us throughout the whole practice this morning. He represents the pure mind of all the Buddhas. He's wearing beautiful silk robes, wonderful golden crown, wonderful golden bracelets. And truly feel Vajrasattva's presence, feel an energetic body, this brilliant, light, energetic body in front of you. It's not a figment of our imagination. Truly feel this Buddha in your home, in your rooms. Feel the light coming off his body, the compassion, the love, the support, the kindness, the generosity. This gentleness, this gentle love, this gentle support for each of us, regardless of where we are in our journeys. This unconditional love and acceptance, an unconditional desire to support us. So Vajrasattva will be with us throughout the whole practice, and anytime you need any help, any extra support, any guidance, you can ask him for help. So we'll turn to the practice, and we'll start with the mantras on the yellow page. We'll do each of these 3 times, then we'll jump into the actual practice itself, the sadhana. So we'll start with the Shakyamuni Buddha mantra. Taya ta o muni muni maha munaye soha. Taya ta o muni muni maha munaye soha. Taya ta o muni muni maha munaye soha. We'll do the multiplying mantra next, multiplying the merits of the practice this morning. Om Namo Manjushriye, Namasu Shriye, Nama Utama Shriye Soha. Om Namo Manjushriye, Namasu Shriye, Nama Utama Shriye Soha. Om Namo Manjushriye, Namasu Shriye, Nama Utama Shriye Soha. Finally, we'll do the Guru Shakyamuni prayer in Tibetan. Lama Tompa Chomdende, Dejing Shek Padra, Chompa Yang, Dakpar Zokpe Sangye Pel, Gyewa Shakya Tupala, Chag Salo Chedo Kyapsu Chiwo Jingi Lap Tu So. Lama Tompa Chomdende, Dejing Shek Padra, Chompa Yang, Dakpar Zokpe Pel, Gyewa Shakya Tupala, Chag Salo Chedo Kyapsu Chiwo Jingi La Tu So. Lama Tompa Chomdende, Dejing Shek Padra, Chompa Yang, Dakpar Zokpe Sangye Pel, Gyewa Shakya Tupala, Chag Salo Chedo Kyapsu Chiwo Jingi La Tu So. So we'll turn to the practice, turn to page 2, and we'll start with refuge. Okay. So we'll start with taking refuge together on page 2. I take refuge in the sublime precious 3 jewels. I will liberate all sentient beings and lead them to enlightenment. Thus perfectly do I generate bodhicitta. I take refuge in the sublime precious 3 jewels. I will liberate all sentient beings and lead them to enlightenment. Thus perfectly do I generate bodhicitta. I take refuge in the sublime precious 3 jewels. I will liberate all sentient beings and lead them to enlightenment. Thus perfectly do I generate bodhicitta. We'll recite the 4 immeasurables. As we recite the 4 immeasurables, just as always, see these prayers leaving your tongues, leaving your mouths. and going out and touching the hearts and minds of all sentient beings around us. May all sentient beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May all sentient beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all sentient beings be inseparable from the happiness that is free from suffering. May all sentient beings abide in equanimity, free from attachment for friends and hatred for enemies. Reverently, I prostrate my body, speech, and mind. I present clouds of every type of offering, actual and imagined. I declare all my negative actions accumulated since speaking this time and rejoice in the merit of all holy and ordinary beings. Please remain until the end of cyclic existence and turn the wheel of Dharma for living beings. I dedicate my own merits and those of all others to the great enlightenment. So do the mandala offering, the short mandala offering. This is where we have an opportunity to express our gratitude to all the Buddhas for their kindness and generosity, for keeping these teachings alive and passing them down to us today. And it's also an opportunity to request them to continue to do so from here until we all realize enlightenment, not just us here, but all sentient beings around us as well. And you can make whatever offering is appropriate, whatever is a heartfelt offering for you. It could be an ocean of diamonds, a beautiful field of sunflowers, beautiful music, and so on and so forth. Whatever is a heartfelt offering, meaningful offering for you. This ground anointed with perfume, strewn with flowers, adorned with Mount Meru, 4 continents, the sun and the moon. I imagine this as a Buddha field and offer it. May all living beings enjoy this pure land. Idam Guru Ratna Mandalakam Niriyataya. So we'll continue with the power of regret. Recollect with deep regret the specific negativities that you've created, and then meditate deeply on the meaning of the following. The negative karma that we've accumulated since speaking this time is as extensive as the treasury of a great king. Although each negative action leads to countless eons of suffering, it seems like we're constantly striving to create nothing but negative actions. Even though we are trying to avoid non-virtue and practice positive acts, day and night without respite, negativities and moral downfalls come to us like rainfall. We lack the ability to purify these faults so no trace of them remains. With these negative imprints still in our minds, we could suddenly die and find ourselves falling into an unfortunate rebirth. What can we do? Please, Vajrasattva, with your great compassion, guide us from such misery. So remembering impermanence and death. Many people our age or younger have died. It's a miracle that we're still alive and have this incredible opportunity to purify our negative karma. Death is certain, but its time is most uncertain. If we were to die right now, we would definitely be born in the lower realms. Because we couldn't practice Dharma there, we'd remain in the lower realms for countless eons. Therefore, how unbelievably fortunate we are to be able to purify our negative karma right now, without even a second's delay, by practicing this Vajrasattva meditation recitation. Generating bodhicitta. But we're not practicing this Vajrasattva purification for ourselves alone. The purpose of our lives is to release all hell beings, pretas, animals, humans, asuras, suras, and intermediate state beings from all their suffering and its causes and lead them to unsurpassed enlightenment. In order to do this, we must first reach enlightenment ourselves. Therefore, we must purify all our negative karma immediately by practicing this Vajrasattva meditation recitation. So as always, we're still surrounded by limitless sentient beings around us. Some of them have already started to shift from one life to another. They're passing through the bardo, perhaps a hungry ghost in the second row is heading towards a human rebirth. And an animal in the fourth row is heading towards a God realm rebirth. And even ourselves, we've already shed many layers of negative karma here this morning in the last 20 minutes. So as always, we're not the same sentient being that started this practice, and to the best of your abilities, allow yourself to be as present as possible with this new self and not kind of stuck in the old identity version of ourselves. It's challenging, but yeah, just to the best of your abilities, try and be present with the ever-changing new self. So moving into the visualization of Vajrasattva and then the mantra recitation. Visualize light radiating in all directions from the home of Vajrasattva's heart, requesting the Buddhas to bestow their blessings. They accept the request and send white rays of light and nectar, the essence of which is about knowledge of their body, speech, and mind. This light and nectar falls like a rain of milk and is absorbed into the Homa mantra garland of Vajrasattva's heart. Filling his holy body completely, they enhance the magnificence of his appearance and increase the brilliance of the mantra until it shines the light of 100,000 moons, reflecting off snowy mountains. So we'll do 3 rounds of purification. First, purifying non-virtues of body, then non-virtues of speech, and then non-virtues of thought. So for the first round, Vajrasattva emits a light from his heart, which rises up into the air, enters the crown chakra, starts to flow into the head, up into the brain, purifying the whole nervous system and the pituitary gland and pineal gland and third eye, and the endocrine system, and down through the whole head and the nose, the mouth, the throat, down into the shoulders, down through the arms, down through the hands, down through the fingers, down through the core of the body, opening up the heart, opening up the lungs, flowing down along our spinal cord and vertebrae, purifying our kidneys, down to the liver and the pancreas and the gallbladder and the diaphragm, down into the digestive system and the bladder and the reproductive system, down to the hips and the hip sockets, down through our thighs, down through our knees, purifying any knees, any issues that we have, down through our shins and out through the soles of our feet. So as we receive this healing, this warm, healing, gentle, purifying light flowing down through the core of the body, purifying the physical body and the aura, our auric, energetic body. It pushes all non-virtues of body out in the form of black tar. These include killing, stealing, and sexual misconduct. Black tar falls to the ground, turns to rivers of silver and gold, and those rivers of silver and gold flow out into the world, bringing blessings to each other and all sentient beings. So with that, we'll recite the mantra together out loud 21 times. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopatita Dito me bawa Sutokayo me bawa Supokayo me bawa Anurakto me bawa Sarva Siddhi me prayatsa Sarva Karma Sutsame Sittam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 ho Bhagavan Sarva Tatta Gata Vajramame Munsa Vajrabhava Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pet Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopatita Dito me bawa Sutokayo me bawa Supokayo me bawa Anurakto me bawa Sarva Siddhi me prayatsa Sarva Karma Sutsame Sittam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 ho Bhagavan Sarva Tatta Gata Vajramame Munsa Vajrabhava Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Ped Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopatita Dito me bawa Sutokayo me bawa Supokayo me bawa Anurakto me bawa Sarva Siddhi me prayatsa Sarva Karma Sutsame Tittam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 ho Bhagavan Sarva Tatta Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabhava Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Ped Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopatita Dito me bawa Sutokayo me bawa Supokayo me bawa Anurakto me bawa Sarva Siddhi me prayatsa Sarva karma sutsame citam shriyam kuru hum. Ha 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 ho bhagavan sarva tattagata vajramame munsa vajrabhava mahasamaya sattva ahum ped. Om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva denopatita Diro me bawa sutokayo me bawa supokayo me bawa anarakto me bawa sarvasiri me prayatsa sarva karma sutsame citam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sarva tattagata vajrama me munsa vajrabhava mahasamaya sattva ahum ped. Om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva denopatita Diro me bawa sutokayo me bawa supokayo me bawa anarakto me bawa sarvasiri me prayatsa sarva karma sutsame citam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sarva tattagata vajrama me munsa vajrabhava ma samaya sattva ahum ped. Om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva denopatita Tiro me bawa sutokayo me bawa supokayo me bawa anarakto me bawa sarvasiri me prayatsa sarva karma sutsame citam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sarva tattagata vajrama me munsa vajrabhava ma samaya sattva ahum ped. Om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva denopatita Tiro me bawa sutokayo me bawa supokayo me bawa anarakto me bawa sarvasiri me prayatsa sarva karma sutsame citam shriyam kuru hum ha ha ho bhagavan sarva tattagata vajrama me munsa vajrabhava ma samaya sattva ahum ped. Om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva denopatita Diro me bawa sutokayo me bawa supokayo me bawa anarakta me bawa sarvasiri me prayatsa sarva karma sutsame citam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sarva tattagata vajrama me munsa vajrabhava ma samaya sattva ahum ped. Om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva denopatita Tiro me bawa sutokayo me bawa supokayo me bawa anarakta me bawa sarvasiri me prayatsa sarva karma sutsame citam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sarva tattagata vajrama me munsa vajrabhava ma samaya sattva ahum ped. Om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva denopatita Diro me bawa sutokayo me bawa supokayo me bawa anarakta me bawa sarvasiri me prayatsa sarva karma sutsame citam shriyam kuru hum ha ha ho bhagavan sarva tattagata vajrama me munsa vajrabhava ma samaya sattva ahum ped. Om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva denopatita Tiro me bawa sutokayo me bawa supokayo me bawa anarakta me bawa sarvasiri me prayatsa sarva karma sutsame citam shriyam kuru hum ha ho bhagavan sarva tattagata vajrama me munsa vajrabhava ma samaya sattva ahum ped. Om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva denopatita Tiro me bawa sutokayo me bawa supokayo me bawa anarakta me bawa sarvasiri me prayatsa sarva karma sutsame citam shriyam kuru hum ha ho bhagavan sarva tattagata vajrama me munsa vajrabhava ma samaya sattva ahum ped. Om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva denopatita Tiro me bawa sutokayo me bawa supokayo me bawa anarakta me bawa sarvasiri me prayatsa sarva karma sutsame citam shriyam kuru hum ha ho bhagavan sarva tattagata vajrama me munsa vajrabhava ma samaya sattva ahum ped. Om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva denopatita Tiro me bawa sutokayo me bawa supokayo me bawa anarakta me bawa sarvasiri me prayatsa sarva karma sutsame citam shriyam kuru hum ha ho bhagavan sarva tattagata vajrama me munsa vajrabhava ma samaya sattva ahum ped. Om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva denopatita Diro me bawa sutokayo me bawa supokayo me bawa anarakta me bawa sarvasiri me prayatsa sarva karma sutsame citam shriyam kuru hum ha ho bhagavan sarva tattagata vajrama me munsa Vajrabhavama Samaya Sattva Ahum Pet. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dhanapatita. Diro me bawa, Sutukayo me bawa, Supukayo me bawa, Anadakta me bawa, Sarasiri me prayatsa, Sarakarma Sutsame, Situm Shim Kuru Hum. Ha ho Bhagavan, Saratatagata, Vajramami Munsa, Vajrabhavama Samaya Sattva Ahum Pet. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dhanapatita. Diro me bawa, Sutukayo me bawa, Supukayo me bawa, Anadakta me bawa, Sarasiri me prayatsa, Sarakarma Sutsame, Situm Shim Kuru Hum. Ha ho Bhagavan, Saratatagata, Vajramami Munsa, Vajrabhavama Samaya Sattva Ahum Pet. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dhanapatita. Tiro me bawa, Sutukao me bawa, Supukao me bawa, Anarakta me bawa, Sarasiri me prayatsa, Sarvakarma Sutsame, Situm Shim Kuruhum. Ha ha ho Bhagavan, Sarvatatagata, Vajramami Munsa, Vajrabhavama Samaya Sattva Ahum Pet. Two more. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dhanapatita. Diro me bawa, Sutukayo me bawa, Supukayo me bawa, Anarakta me bawa, Sarvasiri me prayatsa, Sarvakarma Sutsame, Situm Shim Kuruhum. Ha ha ho Bhagavan, Sarvatatagata, Vajramami Munsa, Vajrabhavama Samaya Sattva Ahum Pe. Last one. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dhanapatita. Diro me bawa, Sutokayo me bawa, Supokayo me bawa, Anarakto me bawa, Sarvasiri me prayatsa, Sarva karma sutsame, Citam Shriyam Kuru Ho. Ha 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 ho, Bhagavan, Sarva Tattagata, Vajramame Munsa, Vajrabhava Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pet. So for the next round, we focus on purifying non-virtues of speech. These include lying, gossip, divisive speech, and harsh speech. So this time, Vajrasattva emits a light from his heart, which enters the soles of our feet. We're going to go from the bottom to the top this time. So the light rises up into the ankles, purifying the energy that's stuck there. And slowly rises up along our shins, up into the knees, purifying our knees, healing our knees, and rising up along our thighs, purifying our thighs and healing our thighs, rising up into the pelvic girdle, into the hip sockets, opening that up, purifying the energy that's stuck there, and slowly rising up along our reproductive organs, up into our bladder and our digestive system, up into the gallbladder and the pancreas and the liver and diaphragm, up into the kidneys, rising up along the core of the body, up into the rib cage, up into the lungs and the hearts, opening up the rib cage and the lungs and the hearts, giving them more room and to breathe and expand, flowing up along the spinal cord and the vertebrae, rising up into the shoulders, down through the arms, down through the hands, down through our fingers, rising up to the throat chakra, purifying our throat chakras, rising up into our mouths, purifying our mouths and any unhealthy speech patterns that are in our mouths and our tongues and our teeth, our gums, rising up through the rest of the head, purifying our nose, purifying our eyes, improving our eyesight, purifying any obstacles to our conventional eyesight and our unconventional eyesight, if you want to put it that way, maybe our third eye eyesight, rising up, purifying our brains, our pineal gland and pituitary gland, the third eye, and the whole endocrine system, the whole nervous system, rising up and bubbling up through the crown chakra and rising up into the sky. So again, this time as this light flows through this warm, healing, nurturing light flows, purifying our physical bodies, purifying our auras as well, all non-virtues of speech, and I also like to include the other forms of communication and the unhealthy email patterns and the unhealthy body language patterns that we have, all of that, any negative karma falls to the ground in the form of black tar. Black tar flows out, black tar turns to rivers of silver and gold, flows out into the world and blessing all sentient beings around us. From the heavens above, we continue to receive that gentle rain of golden and silver nectar from the beginning of the practice. And with that, we recite the mantra together out loud 21 more times. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopatita Diro me bawa Sutokayo me bawa Supokayo me bawa Anarakto me bawa Sarva Siddhi me prayatsa Sarva Karma Sutsame Citam Shriyam Kuru Hum. Ha 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 ho Bhagavan Sarva Tathagata Vajramame Mumsa Vajrabhava Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pet Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopatita Dito me bawa Sutokayo me bawa Supokayo me bawa Anarakto me bawa Sarvasiddhi me prayatsa Sarva Karma Sutsame Citam Shriyam Kuru Hum. Ha 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 ho Bhagavan Sarva Tathagata Vajramame Mumsa Vajrabhava Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pet Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopatita Dito me bawa Sutokayo me bawa Supokayo me bawa Anarakto me bawa Sarvasiddhi me prayatsa Sarva Karma Sutsame Citam Shriyam Kuru Hum. Ha ha ho Bhagavan Sarva Tathagata Vajramame Mumsa Vajrabhava Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pet Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopatita Dito me bawa Sutokayo me bawa Supokayo me bawa Anarakto me bawa Sarvasiddhi me prayatsa Sarva Karma Sutsame Citam Shriyam Kuru Hum. Ha ho Bhagavan Sarva Tathagata Vajramame Mumsa Vajrabhava Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pet Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopatita Dito me bawa Sutokayo me bawa Supokayo me bawa Anarakta me bawa Sarvasiddhi me prayatsa Sarva Karma Sutsame Citam Shriyam Kuru Hum. Ha ha ho Bhagavan Sarva Tathagata Vajramame Mumsa Vajrabhava Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pet Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopatita Dito me bawa Sutokayo me bawa Supokayo me bawa Anarakta me bawa Sarvasiddhi me prayatsa Sarva Karma Sutsame Citam Shriyam Kuru Hum. Ha ha ho Bhagavan Sarva Tathagata Vajramame Mumsa Vajrabhava Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pet Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopatita Dito me bawa Sutokayo me bawa Supokayo me bawa Anarakto me bawa Sarvasiddhi me prayatsa Sarva Karma Sutsame Citam Shriyam Kuru Hum. Ha ha ho Bhagavan Sarva Tathagata Vajramame Mumsa Vajrabhava Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pet Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopatita Dito me bawa Sutokayo me bawa Supokayo me bawa Anarakto me bawa Sarvasiddhi me prayatsa Sarva Karma Sutsame Citam Shriyam Kuru Hum. Ha ha ho Bhagavan Sarva Tathagata Vajramame Mumsa Vajrabhava Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pet Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopatita Dito me bawa Sutokayo me bawa Supokayo me bawa Anarakta me bawa Sarvasiddhi me prayatsa Sarva Karma Sutsame Citam Shriyam Kuru Hum. Ha ha ho Bhagavan Sarva Tathagata Vajramame Mumsa Vajrabhava Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pet Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopatita Dito me bawa Sutokayo me bawa Supokayo me bawa Anarakta me bawa Sarvasiddhi me prayatsa Sarva Karma Sutsame Citam Shriyam Kuru Hum. Ha ha ho Bhagavan Sarva Tathagata Vajramame Mumsa Vajrabhava Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pet Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopatita Dito me bawa Sutokayo me bawa Supokayo me bawa Anarakta me bawa Sarvasiddhi me prayatsa Sarva Karma Sutsame Citam Shriyam Kuru Hum. Ha ha ho Bhagavan Sarva Tathagata Vajramame Mumsa Vajrabhava Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pet Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopatita Dito me bawa Sutokayo me bawa Supokayo me bawa Anarakta me bawa Sarvasiddhi me prayatsa Sarva Karma Sutsame Citam Shriyam Kuru Hum. Ha ha ho Bhagavan Sarvatathagata Vajramamimsa Vajrabhavama Samaya Sattva Ahom Ped Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopatita Tiro me bawa, Sutukao me bawa, Supukao me bawa, Anarakta me bawa, Sarvasiri me prayatsa, Sarvakarma Sutsame, Sitam Shim Kuru Hum. Ha ha ho Bhagavan Sarvatathagata Vajramamimsa Vajrabhavama Samaya Sattva Ahom Ped Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopatita Tiro me bawa, Sutukao me bawa, Supukao me bawa, Anarakta me bawa, Sarvasiri me prayatsa, Sarvakarma Sutsame, Sitam Shim Kuru Hum. Ha ha ho Bhagavan Sarvatathagata Vajramamimsa Vajrabhavama Samaya Sattva Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopatita Tiro me bawa, Sutukao me bawa, Supukao me bawa, Narakta me bawa, Sarvasiri me prayatsa, Sarvakarma Sutsame, Sitam Shrim Kuru Hum. Ha ha ho Bhagavan Sarvatathagata Vajramamimsa Vajrabhavama Samaya Sattva Ahom Ped Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopatita Tiro me bawa, Sutukao me bawa, Supukao me bawa, Anarakta me bawa, Sarvasiri me prayatsa, Sarvakarma Sutsame, Sitam Shrim Kuru Hum. Ha ha ho Bhagavan Sarvatathagata Vajramamimsa Vajrabhavama Samaya Sattva Ahom Ped Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopatita Diro me bawa, Sutukao me bawa, Supukao me bawa, Anarakta me bawa, Sarvasiri me prayatsa, Sarvakarma Sutsame, Sitam Shrim Kuru Hum. Ha ha ho Bhagavan Sarvatathagata Vajramamimsa Vajrabhavama Samaya Sattva Ahom Ped Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopatita Tiro me bawa, Sutukao me bawa, Supukao me bawa, Narakta me bawa, Sarvasiri me prayatsa, Sarvakarma Sutsame, Sitam Shrim Kuru Hum. Ha ha ho Bhagavan Sarvatathagata Vajramamimsa Vajrabhavama Samaya Sattva Ahom Ped Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopatita Tiro me bawa, Sutukao me bawa, Supukao me bawa, Narakta me bawa, Sarvasiri me prayatsa, Sarvakarma Sutsame, Sitam Shrim Kuru Hum. Ha ha ho Bhagavan Sarvatathagata Vajramamimsa Vajrabhavama Samaya Sattva Ahom Ped Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopatita Tiro me bawa, Sutukao me bawa, Supukao me bawa, Narakta me bawa, Sarvasiri me prayatsa, Sarvakarma Sutsame, Sitam Shrim Kuru Hum. Ha ho Bhagavan Sarvatathagata Vajramamimsa Vajrabhavama Samaya Sattva Ahom Ped. Two more. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopatita Diro me bawa, Sutukao me bawa, Supukao me bawa, Anarakta me bawa, Sarvasiri me prayatsa, Sarvakarma Sutsame, Sitam Shrim Kuru Hum. Ha ha ho Bhagavan Sarvatathagata Vajramamimsa Vajrabhavama Samaya Sattva Ahom Ped. Last one. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopatita Diro me bawa, Sutokayo me bawa, Supokayo me bawa, Anarakto me bawa, Sarvasiri me prayatsa, Sarvakarma Sutsame, Citam Shriyam Kuru Hum. Ha 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 ho Bhagavan Sarvatathagata Vajramame Munsa Vajrabhava Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Ped. So for the last round, we focus on purifying non-virtues of mind. These include covetousness, ill will, and wrong view. So for this last round, Vajrasattva emits light from his heart, which expands out, filling our rooms with pure light and dissolving our physical and auric bodies into pure light. So everything in our room dissolves into light. Then our homes and our apartments dissolve into pure light. And then all the land around our homes, all the land around our apartment buildings dissolve into pure light. Then the cities that we live in dissolve into pure light. And the countries we live in dissolve into pure light. And the planet we live on dissolves into pure light. And the galaxy that we live in dissolves into pure light. And then all galaxies beyond our galaxy dissolve into pure light. And then ultimately the universe dissolves into pure light. So our experience becomes one of pure, limitless, clear light consciousness. So this is the ultimate nature of our minds. This is our Buddha nature, pure, clear, knowing, pure light consciousness. So as always, this is not something new. It's not something that just happened a few moments ago. This is the ultimate nature of our minds. This is the ultimate nature. It's our Buddha nature. This is how we are 24/7, 365 days a year, through every lifetime. Only that we forget. This pure, clear light mind, it gets covered over with a couple layers of forgetfulness, with a couple layers of dust, with a couple layers of misidentifying how we are. We grasp onto identities that are given to us by ourselves, by our families, by our culture, our society, and so on and so forth. And we cling to those and we take those on, we put those clothes on, not realizing that we exist in this pure light state all the time, and our Buddha nature is always here. So it's just a slight misunderstanding. But now we've removed all those layers of misunderstanding. We've removed all those layers of misidentifying. We've come back to our pure selves, our pure nature, our true selves. And we exist in this pure, limitless state with the capacity to practice unconditional kindness, unconditional generosity, unconditional compassion, unconditional altruism, with all sentient beings in all realms, being able to be with them in whatever way is most appropriate to their minds at a moment's notice. So as we feel the expansive nature of this pure, clear light mind that can serve all sentient beings in all realms at a moment's notice, just even imagine yourselves multiplying into multiple Buddha versions of yourselves, and just expanding out to serve all sentient beings across the planet, across the galaxy, across the universe. And anywhere you're serving sentient beings throughout the universe and galaxy, use that ability to practice with kindness, with unlimited kindness, unlimited compassion, unlimited generosity. There's no change. It doesn't go down, it doesn't decrease. It's just always, it's the same everywhere. There's no loss of power, no loss of strength. So with that, we recite the mantra together out loud 21 more times. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopatita Diro me bawa Sudokayo me bawa Subokayo me bawa Anarakto me bawa Sarva Siddhi me prayatsa Sarva Karma Sutsa me Titam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 ho Bhagavan Sarva Tathagata Vajramame Munsa Vajrabhava Maha Samaya Sattva Ahom Ped Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopatita Diro me bawa Sutokayo me bawa Supokayo me bawa Anarakto me bawa Sarva Siddhi me prayatsa Sarva Karma Sutsa me Sittam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha ho Bhagavan Sarva Tathagata Vajramame Munsa Vajrabhava Maha Samaya Sattva Ahom Ped Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopatita Diro me bawa Sutokayo me bawa Supokayo me bawa Anarakto me bawa Sarva Siddhi me prayatsa Sarva Karma Sutsa me Sittam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha ho Bhagavan Sarva Tathagata Vajramame Munsa Vajrabhava Maha Samaya Sattva Ahom Ped Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopatita Diro me bawa Sutokayo me bawa Supokayo me bawa Anarakto me bawa Sarva Siddhi me prayatsa Sarva karma sutsame sitam shriyam kuruhum. Ha ho bhagavan sarva tathagata vajramame munsa vajrabhavama samaya sattva ahom pet. Om vajrava samaya manupalaya vajrava denopatita. Tiro me bawa, sutukao me bawa, supokao me bawa, anarakta me bawa, sarvasiti me prayatsa, sarvakarma sutsame sitam shrim kuru hum. Ha ha ho bhagavan sarvatathagata vajramame munsa vajrabhavama samaya sattva ahom pet. Om vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva denopatita. Tiro me bawa, sutukao me bawa, supokao me bawa, anarakta me bawa, sarvasiti me prayatsa, sarvakarma sutsame sitam shrim kuru. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ho bhagavan sarvatathagata vajramame munsa vajrabhavama samaya sattva ahon pet. Om vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva denopatita. Diro me bawa, sutukayo me bawa, supukayo me bawa, anarakto me bawa, sarvasiti me prayatsa, sarvakarma sutsame sitam shriyam kuru hum. Ha ho bhagavan sarvatathagata vajramame munsa vajrabhavama samaya sattva ahon pet. Om vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva denopatita. Tiro me bawa, sutukayo me bawa, supukayo me bawa, anarakta me bawa, sarvasiti me prayatsa, sarvakarma sutsame sitam shriyam kuru hum. Ha ha ho bhagavan sarvatathagata vajramame munsa vajrabhavama samaya sattva ahon pet. Om vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva denopatita. Tiro me bawa, sutukayo me bawa, supukayo me bawa, anarakta me bawa, sarvasiti me prayatsa, sarvakarma sutsame sitam shriyam kuru hum. Ha ha ho bhagavan sarvatathagata vajramame munsa vajrabhavama samaya sattva ahon pet. Om vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva denopatita. Tiro me bawa, sutukao me bawa, supukao me bawa, anarakta me bawa, sarvasiti me prayatsa, sarvakarma sutsame sitam shriyam kuru hum. Ha ha ho bhagavan sarvatathagata vajramame munsa vajrabhavama samaya sattva ahom pet. Om vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva denopatita. Diro me bawa, sutukao me bawa, supukao me bawa, anarakta me bawa, sarvasiti me prayatsa, sarvakarma sutsame sitam shriyam kuru hum. Ha ha ho bhagavan sarvatathagata vajramame munsa vajrabhavama samaya sattva ahom pet. Om vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva denopatita. Diro me bawa, sutukao me bawa, supukao me bawa, anarakta me bawa, sarvasiti me prayatsa, sarvakarma sutsame sitam shriyam kuru hum. Ha ha ho bhagavan sarvatathagata vajramame munsa vajrabhavama samaya sattva ahom pet. Om vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva denopatita. Diro me bawa, sutukayo me bawa, supokayo me bawa, anarakta me bawa, sarvasiti me prayatsa, sarvakarma sutsame sitam shriyam kuru hum. Ha ha ho bhagavan sarvatathagata vajramame munsa vajrabhavama samaya sattva ahom pet. Om vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva denopatita. Tiro me bawa, sutukao me bawa, supukao me bawa, anarakta me bawa, sarvasiti me prayatsa, sarvakarma sutsame sitam shriyam kuru hum. Ha ha ho bhagavan sarvatathagata vajramame munsa vajrabhavama samaya sattva ahom pet. Om vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva denopatita. Diro me bawa, sutukao me bawa, supukao me bawa, anarakta me bawa, sarvasiti me prayatsa, sarvakarma sutsame sitam shriyam kuru hum. Ha ha ho bhagavan sarvatathagata vajramame munsa vajrabhavama samaya sattva ahom pet. Om vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva denopatita. Diro me bawa, sutukao me bawa, supukao me bawa, anarakta me bawa, sarvasiti me prayatsa, sarvakarma sutsame sitam shriyam kuru hum. Ha ho bhagavan sarvatathagata vajramame munsa vajrabhavama samaya sattva ahom pet. Om vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva denopatita. Tiro me bawa, sutukao me bawa, supukao me bawa, anarakta me bawa, sarvasiti me prayatsa, sarvakarma sutsame sitam shriyam kuru hum. Ha ha ho bhagavan sarvatathagata vajramame munsa Vajrabhavama Samaya Sattva Ahom Pet. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopatita. Tiro me bawa, Sutukao me bawa, Supukao me bawa, Narakta me bawa, Sarvasiti me prayatsa. Sarvakarma Sutame Sitam Shiyam Kuruhum. Ha ha ho Bhagavan Sarvata Tagata. Vajramame Munsa. Vajrabhavama Samaya Sattva Ahom Pet. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopatita. Tiro me bawa, Sutukao me bawa, Supukao me bawa, Anarakta me bawa, Sarvasiti me prayatsa. Sarvakarma Sutame Sitam Shiyam Kuruhum. Ha ha ho Bhagavan Sarvata Tagata Vajramame Munsa Vajrabhavama Samaya Sattva Ahum Pe. Three more. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopatita. Tiro me bawa, Sutokayo me bawa, Supokayo me bawa, Anarakto me bawa, Sarvasiti me prayatsa, Sarva Karma Sutsame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum. Ha ho Bhagavan Sarvatattagata Vajramame Munsa Vajrabhavama Samaya Sattva Ahum Pet. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopatita. Tiro me bawa, Sutokayo me bawa, Supokayo me bawa, Anarakto me bawa, Sarvasiti me prayatsa, Sarva Karma Sutsame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum. Ha ha ho Bhagavan Sarvatattagata Vajramame Munsa Vajrabhavama Samaya Sattva Ahum Pet. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopatita. Diro me bawa, Sutokayo me bawa, Supokayo me bawa, Anarakto me bawa, Sarvasiti me prayatsa, Sarva Karma Sutsame Chittam Shriyam Kuruhum. Ha 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 ho Bhagavan Sarva Tattagata Vajramame Munsa Vajrabhavama Samaya Sattva Ahum Pet. So generating faith, now having been purified from the crown of our heads, Guru Vajrasattva says, sons and daughters of the race, your negativities, obscurations, and broken and damaged vows and pledges have been completely purified. So generate strong faith. These have all been purified, as Guru Vajrasattva has said, and then just as always, take a moment to rejoice and pat yourselves on your backs and give yourselves high fives for your hard work this morning. So with that, we'll turn to the middle of page 5 and continue with the power of restraint. As always, this is where we make a commitment to refrain from engaging in negativities to the best of our abilities, realizing that some habits are strong, and so we want to approach this with a compassionate, kind heart, realizing that if we lose patience quickly, for example, perhaps we say that we'll practice 5 extra minutes of patience with somebody instead of saying that we'll never lose patience with that person again. Probably unrealistic. So as always, set the bar at an achievable level. When you get there, take a moment to celebrate that, and then raise the bar a little higher. Maybe you practice 10 minutes of patience and then 20 minutes and so on and so forth. So before Guru Vajrasattva, I vow never again to commit those negative actions from which I can easily abstain, and not to commit for a day, an hour, or at least a few seconds, those negative actions from which I find it difficult to abstain. So Guru Vajrasattva is extremely pleased with our pledge. So this is where we invite Vajrasattva to settle in at our hearts, or if you're not comfortable with that, you can invite Vajrasattva to sit next to you. So Vajrasattva is extremely pleased with our pledges. He dissolves into light, rises up into the air, enters the crown chakra, and settles in at our hearts. Our body, speech, and mind become inseparably one with Guru Vajrasattva's holy body, speech, and mind. So when we leave, we finish the practice this morning, we have Vajrasattva with us at our hearts, or Vajrasattva sitting next to us. Anytime we need any help, anytime we need any assistance, we can ask him for help right then and there to navigate whatever is arising. So we'll wind up the practice at the bottom of page 5 with a meditation on emptiness. In emptiness, there is no I, creator of negative karma. There's no action of creating negative karma. There is no negative karma created. So place your minds in emptiness for a while. And in this way, see all phenomena as empty inherent existence. They do not exist from their own side. So remembering that everything is a dependent arising, the understanding in Tibetan Buddhism is that everything arises out of cause and effect. So all our good karma arises out of cause and effect, all our challenging karma arises out of cause and effect, and all our neutral karma arises out of cause and effect. And so remembering also that through practices like these, or like prostrations to the 35 Buddhas and other purification practices, ultimately we can purify any negative karmic seeds that we've planted unwittingly through lack of skill, through lack of wisdom, through lack of knowledge. And then we can plant those seeds that are filled with wisdom, filled with knowledge, filled with skillfulness, so that we can move in the world with the skillfulness of a Buddha, with the speech of a Buddha, the thoughts of a Buddha, and with the actions of a Buddha. So with that understanding of emptiness, we dedicate the merits. May the precious bodhicitta, the source of all happiness and success for myself and all other sentient beings, be generated within my own mind and the minds of all sentient beings, without even a second's delay. And may that which has been generated only be increased. Just as the brave Manjushri and Samantabhadra realize things as they are, I dedicate all these virtues in the best way that I may follow after them. Whatever dedication 3-time victorious ones gone to bliss have admired as best, in the same way I also perfectly dedicate all these roots of virtues so that I may perform good works. We'll recite the long life prayers for His Holiness. In the land encircled by snow mountains, you are the source of all happiness and good, all powerful Chenrezig Tenzin Gyatso. Please remain until samsara ends. We'll recite the long life prayer for Lamazopa. You who upholds through the subduer's moral way, who serve as the bountiful bearer of all, sustaining, preserving, and spreading Manjunat's victorious doctrine, who master for the accomplishment of some prayers honoring its rituals, Savior of myself and others, your disciples, please, please live long. So we extend the blessings of the practice this morning to all sentient beings across the planet, to all whose lives are being impacted by COVID, so that they may have all the resources they need to navigate the COVID that's arising in their lives. We dedicate this practice to all sentient beings looking for a karma purification practice in whatever culture, whatever tradition they exist in. May they find one so they may alleviate the weights of their hearts and minds. And we also extend this practice, the blessings of the practice, to Rowena Mayer. May her journey through the Bardo be safe and guided by all perfect Buddhas, so that she may realize her Buddha nature and her Buddha mind as quickly as possible.